Hi, guys, and welcome to the Idaho Life Real Estate Podcast. We're so excited you're here. My name is Sarah.
And my name's Garrett. And on this podcast, we're here to talk to realtors, buyers, and sellers about the Treasure Valley, the market trends, what's happening, tips and tricks. We're here to show you all that coming up.
So, we want to talk today about how we can make the fourth quarter our best quarter because we're rolling into the end of 2024, heading into 2025. And what are people missing out on when they go into quarter four?
Yeah, there's this misconception, Sarah. I mean, we talk about all the time at our office. There's this misconception that fourth quarter is going to slow down, buyers and sellers aren't going to transact. And I think we have this, our blinders on that quarter four, it's not going to happen. So everyone kind of steps off, takes a break, and they go on cruise control until middle of January.
So, do you feel like they shouldn't be taking cruise control? And if they are, what can they do to not get into that? And how can they make the most out of it? What should they be prepping for?
So, what most agents don't realize is in the Treasure Valley, yes, it does slow down a little bit, but 21% of the business still happens in quarter four in the Treasure Valley. And that's shocking to most people to hear that because they automatically assume, well, my buyers aren't calling me, my sellers aren't saying, Sarah, come list my house, we're ready. Because let's be honest, I mean, who really wants to list their house during Thanksgiving, during the holidays, Christmas? It's not something on top of mind. So, what do agents do you think automatically assume that's going to happen in quarter four?
Probably most of them.
Yeah, they're probably all going to assume my clients, my sphere, my database are not going to transact during quarter four. So if we know the numbers, we know that 21% of the transactions happen in quarter four, which we've now entered quarter four. If that mindset were to change, do you think that agents would maybe perhaps do a little bit different work or frame their mindset just a little bit differently so that they are able to produce that fourth quarter and have a strong first quarter for the next year?
Yeah, I mean, I just know having for my own business, I definitely looked at quarter four as like my slow season. So I totally get it, especially in real estate.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But I think once I framed up, oh, when I go into quarter four, I should have that same momentum. I should be planning ahead because you had a good point mentioning that quarter four is a time to slow down. You now have more time to put into your past clients. You can make those personal touches that you didn't have before. Do you feel that quarter four is a time to keep putting more things, like more effort into your business?
Yeah, absolutely. You have to imagine, I've always said, if you don't call your database, if you don't call your people, you don't talk to your people, someone else is going to. So there will be that downtime, Sarah, where, you know, market goes from, we do 27% of the business in quarter three, we go down to 21% in quarter four. So you have to kind of think as an agent, what are those things that I've always wanted to do? Spring rolls around, agents get too busy. We see it in our own office, right? Spring comes around and they have absolutely no time because they're out there listing properties, they're showing properties, and none of their business stuff gets done, right? We create a marketing plan with everyone. We do a business planning together in every single November, and we go over that quarterly with the agents. Sometimes when we meet at the end of quarter three, what happens, right? What does their marketing timeline actually look like? What actually got done during quarter three for marketing, right? It's really slowed down. And we hear all the time that we didn't have time. I was busy showing properties. I was listing properties.
My kids are doing this.
We had our trip to McCall, we went up to the lake, whatever it may be. So now is a time where you can really focus and dial in on getting your business plan, your marketing plan together, and start doing some of those filler things that maybe they're the larger to-do items that you never got into that aren't going to bring you immediate results in this business. They're not going to get you immediate income, but there's something on the table that you've put on the back burner that will get you that income, but it's not something that's going to bring you instant gratification, instant income. So it's times where we go back to the 2024 business plan. We go back to the 2024 marketing plan. What was on there? What were those big items that are maybe they're time consuming items, not even necessarily time consuming, but they're bigger picture items that are never urgent. They're important,
Keeps
but
getting pushed back.
they're important, right? If we don't do them, our business will suffer. So a great time right now. There's no better time. And I think the mentality of the typical agent is my clients don't want to hear from me during the holidays. They're celebrating the holidays. They're with their friends and family. They've got
So
time
wrong.
off. Exactly. Now's the time when they want to hear from you. Now's the time when we're getting together. They deserve to hear from you during the holidays. They need to be checked in on, and you never know what might
I think that
arise.
even makes them more special if they hear from you during that time.
100%, 100%. It's not like you're bothering them. And I think, when you're making calls all day long, I mean, you could be making 3 hours of calls a day, and it can feel like you're really bothering people because you're making 3 hours worth of calls. Now, granted, these conversations are probably only 2 to 3 minutes per person that you're talking to. They're your past client, your sphere, you're seeing how they're doing, you're checking in, right? Because you're the market expert on what's happening in the real estate market. And I think you're doing them a disservice. In fact, I know you're doing them a disservice if you don't check in on them and see how they're doing, how the family's doing, because life events happen, life changes happen that we're not in the know,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there could be maybe they're expecting a new child, they need a larger home. And what are they going to do? They're going to say, Sarah, we're so excited. We're growing our family, and we're going to expand our expanding our home needs, and we're going to wait until the spring for that to happen.
Mm.
So it's those things that we don't know about, and maybe we'll find out by the time it's too late. They've, in the spring will come around. They've stopped by open houses. We wait till the spring, and we give them a call and we say, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Past client, how's the family doing? How's the home doing?" And the worst thing that we could hear, Sarah, is, "Garrett, thank you so much for the call. We haven't heard from you in about a year. In fact, we actually just
Mm.
went ahead and upsized. We went by a new builder down the street from us. They
Oh,
had a larger floor plan," and
ouch.
we hear all the time, right? And it's because we didn't love on our clients. If you don't love on them
Mhm.
during the fourth quarter, this is when agents check out. This is when historically clients say we don't hear from our real estate agent
Mm.
at all in the holiday season. When this is when we
Mhm.
should be putting the most love into them, the most attention. We have more time statistically. If 21% of the sales are happening in the quarter four time period, we have more time that we can spend and focus on them, which again isn't going to give us immediate business, immediate income, but it's planting those seeds for the long run. And it's just
Right.
being there, which is ultimately what we're here to do for our clients, is just be there for an advocate, show them that we care, show them that we're there to always provide value. Maybe they
Mhm.
need a maintenance person. Maybe they're going through, a separation or a divorce or having another child. We need to see what those needs are. Just doing a little pulse check on them, because every single quarter, clients need to be talked to, right? No matter what
Mhm.
quarter it is.
Right.
And there are more times than not in quarter four is when I will be reaching into those clients and some kind of a life change is happening, right?
Well, I feel like I can really attest to this because I know during my time in my slow season, I missed out, especially touching in on people and just seeing how they are. And I was service based. Like, I feel like being in real estate, that's a pretty big service that you're helping people. You're providing knowledge, expertise, you're doing all the work, the contracts, the negotiations. Like, that is a service that takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of emotion. And if you work someone through that and you go to this like epiphany and you reach this point where they get the home, they get approved, they're getting all the things, it's all said and done, how could you just literally walk away and never talk to them again? Like, that makes no sense to me. And I know with the clients that I had back in my photography business, that would be the time where I'm like, maybe give them calls, stopping by, and I'm dropping off like, I don't know, some little cider that I made from home or whatever, something special to make those little touches. Because for the most part, they'd be like, wow, like, I haven't heard from my family, and the fact that you stopped by like means so much because it shows that someone does care about me. And you never know how much those little things that you do that takes 20 minutes of your time can make an
Mhm.
impact.
You make such a good point, that the fact that my real estate agent or my photographer or whatever, business you're in took the time during their own family time, during their
Mhm.
November, their December to reach out. It shows a real care, because that's what we're here for, Sarah, too. And this is what we talk about in our office, is that this is a lifelong relationship with our clients. It's not you close and you're done and you never talk to them ever again. We're a service provider where we're there to constantly reach out, see what their needs are, just checking how the family's doing, because really we are there to care about the family.
Well, I feel like one of the other things, like so far, we've talked a little bit about like why it can be a good thing to sell during quarter four and what people miss out on, where there's like missed opportunity, where we automatically assume, oh, there's probably no business, nobody wants to sell during this time. But I think probably one of the other things that's very important is starting to front load your business. So when you get to the beginning of the year, you're already having those closings. You don't have to wait till
Yeah.
March or April to
Yeah.
wait for your things because you took that time off. And so, what those conversations and those little touches could very well put you into the beginning of the year with the home because you started in October. And by January, they'd be like, you know what, Garrett, you stay at the top of my mind. I think I'm ready to sell. Like, you gave me so much knowledge and information about the market that I just didn't know existed. I thought it wasn't a good time. But now that I've seen all this and you've educated me, like, yeah, I do want to sell a new home. Like, let's do this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you're what you're saying is you're staying top of mind during every single season of the year, right? If you stay top of mind, they're going to keep their eyes out, they're going to keep their ears open for not just themselves, but for clients, of their own coworkers, friends, you name it. They're going to keep their eyes and ears out. So that way it does help front load your business. But not only that, Sarah, I mean, if you have a client that uh, past client that you've been working with, you've sold them a house 2 years ago, and just maybe you reach out and it's November 1st and you call that client and they say, you know what, Garrett, I'm so glad that you called because we are looking to make a move this spring. Um, Kids went off to college. We realized this home was too large. And you go, I really appreciate that you're telling me that. And I think what a lot of agents will do, most agents will go, they say, that sounds great. We'll talk in the spring, right? What can happen? That's the thing. What can happen between the time a seller says, what, they kind of put their mind to it, they say it out to the world, they said it to their agent, yeah, we're going to be selling our home this spring, right? As soon as they reach out and they say it to one person, they kind of open it up to the world, they will let the world know that they're going to be moving. If you don't have a listing agreement with them, they're going to start talking about it with everybody. And now you're taken out of the equation. You're no longer going to potentially be their agent because they have a friend or family member that's going to buy their home in the spring instead of you. So you get pushed out.
So in quarter four, you don't want to just put yourself in cruise control. You want to be able to get to the beginning of the year with momentum. You want to be front loading your business. So when the beginning of the year comes, you already have a closing happening. You don't have to wait till March or April because you decided to start at the beginning of the year. So knowing that, what are some things you'd recommend that agents should start doing now to start off the year strong?
Yeah, you've got a couple more months of a strong, end of year that you can end off on. So there's a couple of examples or two things that I would suggest on start doing right now. Number one is reaching out to every single past client, offering them a end of year equity report on their property, basically like a bank account statement, right? It's their end of year statement. It's a great way to know at least where they stand, kind of like when you get a bank statement every month, people don't get a bank statement for their house every single month. They know what maybe their mortgage balance is, but they don't know the equity of their home. So knowing what the equity is, and just by offering that, don't even ask for one. Just go ahead and provide them with an equity report and saying, Sarah, I've got your yearly year-end equity report for your house. Would this be better for me to drop off at your doorstep, or would you like to send me an email? It's just something of value. It's a touch point rather than saying, never just want to say, hey, the worst thing you could probably say is, hey, I'm just checking in. How are things going, right? Provide some kind of value. So one thing of value you can provide is a year-end equity report. Here's where you stand. Here's what the market's doing. Wanted to wish you and your family a happy holidays. Because otherwise, you're going to wait and they're to hear from you in January, February, March, where maybe they've already made their mind on making a move. They've gone to the open house and you missed an opportunity there. So number two, something that you can provide is something of value, something that is coming from the heart. Maybe it's a little pop buy, such as a gift. You can get what Costco pies are, what, $5 for a pumpkin pie.
That's the way to go.
Honestly, they're amazing. Their pumpkin pies are absolutely amazing. A $5 pumpkin pie, drop it off their doorstep, little note, unexpected. If they're not home, take a little picture of it on their front doorstep and say, hey, Sarah, dropped you off a little gift at your house. Hope yours and your family have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Something that I would do for years for my past clients, Sphere, my database, is I would actually do handwritten thank you cards every single Thanksgiving, because I don't know if you've ever got a Thanksgiving card in the mail, do you? I know you get Christmas cards, right? You get Christmas cards in the mail or a holiday card.
No
You
cards.
don't get none of the
I
above.
get nothing.
But I think sending out a Thanksgiving card, and you can get these from Amazon. You look up on Amazon, just type in, generic Thanksgiving cards, not branded, no business card. You send out these Thanksgiving cards. You're going to be the only person that has ever sent them a Thanksgiving card. And it's just going to be a handwritten one. Again, you've got some time. You take an hour a day to write maybe 15 of these a day. So these cards are, hand addressed, handwritten, personalized, no business card, no, I want to sell you a house, no, if you know a friend, family, or coworker that's looking to buy, sell, or invest, none of that at all. It's strictly coming from the heart, hoping you and yours have a great Thanksgiving, a great holiday.
Love it. So it sounds like to me, the best things that you could be doing in the slow season, going towards the beginning of the year, is just having those little personal touches. Like you said, adding value and also adding relationships first. And then with that, that's going to stand out and your clients are going to have you at the top of their mind. So if you do those two things, we have no doubt that you go into quarter one with momentum.
So Sarah, that was just, a couple of things that I gave you. So if you'd like these tips and you want to hear more, go ahead and follow, comment along if you have any questions or have any ideas that you do for your quarter four ideas to stay busy, front load your business for 2025, and hopefully have the best year in 2025. See you guys next time.